Alrighty, guys. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. We got ourselves a bit of updates here for everybody. Hope everyone is doing good. So, actually, SPC decided that they are going to issue a marginal risk for severe weather up in the Northeast. Not really on my playing cards. I mean, I was seeing a little bit of instability being available for this upcoming system here, but honestly, like I mentioned, I was honestly not really expecting SPC to pull a risk out there for the Northeast. But anyways, folks, what's up, guys? Hope everyone is doing good. Let's see who we got here today. Tabletop Man, thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. Saying, how's Wilmington, North Carolina on Wednesday? Let's see, biggest risk. Thanks. So we'll get to that here in a second. Table Talk. Let me go ahead and welcome everybody here real quickly. So we got ourselves Peachy, we have Crystal, we have Table, you of course, we have Mike, we have, let's see here, Jeff, let's see, Crystal coming in with a member, Tropical Storm for 20 months. I appreciate your support. Saying hi, Andrew. What's up, Crystal? Hope you're doing good. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. What's up, Christy? What's up, Kathy? Hope you're doing good. Let's see, other people on the other notification. Yeah, we're streaming on both the YouTube Shorts platform and also on our mainstream, because there's people that prefer both, and it's like, might as well just do both of them. Anyways, folks, so we do got ourselves a bit to talk about. Now, first, let's talk about severe weather. Tabletop, I didn't forget about you, man. We're going to get into that here in a second. So for today, there's actually a little threat for some severe storms today. That threat is out here towards Louisiana. We're going to go ahead and disable the radar for a minute. So we do have a threat for some storms today, perhaps some severe weather. Apparently, we had a tornado warning earlier. This was a bit ago. This was just west of New Orleans. So that's actually a concern for today, is potential for some tornadoes. Yeah, we had a tornado warning that was just west of New Orleans a little bit ago. This was around 3 o'clock. So whenever that happened, 3 to 3:30, basically. Goodness. All right, well, we had a tornado warning. I don't know if it went confirmed or not, but right now we're clear from warnings. Actively no warnings currently. But we do have a risk for some storms today, potential severe weather down in southern Louisiana, also a little bit of Mississippi here for today. We will have the shot for a couple thunderstorms as high north as southern Kentucky, portions here of Tennessee. Let's see here, a little bit of southern North Carolina. So a couple thunderstorms are possible out in these areas in the light green. We're going to disable the satellite so you guys can kind of see that a little bit better. Yeah, so these areas here in that light green, this is where the threat for some thunderstorms persists. So we'll have to look out for a few booms of thunder. But yeah, it's this area here, basically in the dark green, where there's a possibility of, a couple potential severe storms. Now, tornado probs, we actually do have a little 2% chance for tornadoes today. So, like we saw earlier with that tornado warning we had a little bit ago, like about 3 hours ago, it can't be ruled out that we could get an isolated tornado or two. That's something that we'll have to look out there for today in the green areas here today. So southern Louisiana, a little bit of southern Mississippi here. In terms of hail, there is no hail threat today. A little bit of gusty winds possible, some gusts getting up to right around 60 miles an hour. So now for tomorrow, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. So we do have a shot for severe weather tomorrow. This is across areas of the Panhandle, the far western Panhandle of Florida, out there towards central-ish southern Alabama, and a little bit of central and southwestern Georgia is under the risk here for severe weather tomorrow. We do got a 2% chance for tornadoes yet again. So these areas out here in central and southern Alabama, basically just south of Birmingham, south of Clanton, for the southern sides really of Alabama, we do have ourselves a 2% chance for tornadoes. The western side of the Panhandle of Florida here, towards Panama City, Pensacola, a couple isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out, and also here for tomorrow as well, towards the central and southwestern side of Georgia, that 2% does extend there as well. Now, in terms of hail, tomorrow we do not have a hail threat. Not really expecting anything concerning regarding hail. In terms of damaging winds, though, yet again, kind of like today, we do have ourselves a 5% chance for some damaging wind gusts. Some of those gusts could get up to right around 60 miles an hour or so. So some storms could contain some gusty winds. That's what the gusts could get up to, basically, what the winds could peak up to in general. Now, here's where things get pretty interesting. So we work our way into day 3, which I believe that is Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday here for day 3. We have a risk for severe thunderstorms, my friends, up in New England and the eastern mid-Atlantic. So areas in eastern North Carolina. Tabletop, still didn't forget about you, man. I was waiting to get here. So, yeah, you are in the risk here for day 3. We do have ourselves a marginal risk out there for eastern North Carolina, for portions of eastern Virginia, including the Chesapeake Bay, areas along the eastern side of Maryland, including Delaware, most of New Jersey, a little bit of Pennsylvania, including Philadelphia, could be in line for maybe a couple strong to potentially severe storms. A little bit of southern New York State, including New York City, actually. Connecticut, Rhode Island, and a little bit of central and southern Massachusetts will be under the risk for a little bit of severe thunderstorm potential here for Wednesday. So we're going to have to watch out there for Wednesday overall. Let's see. What's up, MP? What's up, Lizzie? What's up, Kathy? What's up, Jill? Welcome, guys. Hope everyone's doing good. What's up, GR? What's up, Darian? Just going to go ahead and say welcome. Let's see. Dylan says snow and tornadoes. Wow, yeah. So there's a shot for tornadoes today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's risk here, like we mentioned, we do have a 2% chance for tornadoes out there towards like southern Alabama, portions of like the panhandle of Florida, and a little bit here of like central western Georgia. So, in terms of Wednesday's threat, there is no, like, breakdown regarding, tornado potential or anything like that as of right now. We'll find that out tomorrow. Whenever we do get that information for you guys, we will go live again to show you guys kind of the breakdown for, the Mid-Atlantic and New England severe weather event here for Wednesday overall. So we'll get to that. Do I expect an outbreak? No. I do not expect an outbreak of severe weather. Now, we will see a little bit of severe weather going on, of course, but yeah, I don't see any outbreak material per se. It's just going to be relatively isolated severe storms, nothing really super ridiculously crazy. So yeah, no outbreak. It's not going to be anything like that. It just will be a little shot for a couple isolated severe storms in general. Let's see here. Let's see, what's the snowflake mean near Albany, New York? So we are expecting some snow out here towards New York. So this is the expected snow accumulations here over the next 3 days. So we could get a little bit of accumulation out there towards Albany. Honestly, not going to be a lot. Now, throughout the next 3 days, we're going to be seeing a decent amount of snow in some areas here. Like western Michigan. What a surprise. It's really nothing out of the ordinary. But we will be seeing, quite a bit of snowfall along the western sides of Michigan. Towards central Michigan, a couple of inches are possible. The eastern side towards Detroit, really not seeing a lot. Yeah, you guys out by Detroit really haven't been seeing a lot of hardly anything crazy going on out there towards the eastern side. So a little bit of snow, can't be ruled out for them too, but most of that snow up in Michigan is going to be along the western side. Same thing for the upper state here too of Michigan. We do have a pretty solid amount of snowfall that is expected out here, so we will be looking out there for that. As some local spots, we could be picking up well over a foot and maybe near 2 feet in some areas. Could be certainly possible, especially out there by like western upper state Michigan. Can't be really ruled out. So then, of course, my folks up here towards like northeast Ohio, again, near like Cleveland area, we are picking up, a fair amount of snowfall. Definitely not as much as we've seen in the last week or so, but still a fair amount of snowfall will add to the snow that we do have in the region here. Out there by Cleveland, we could pick up a couple of inches being possible in general. So we'll definitely be looking out for that. We'll definitely be keeping you guys up to date with everything, and so just make sure that you are watching your travels and everything in general. Let's see here. Crystal gifting 1 membership. I appreciate that, Crystal. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. Let's see here. ATR, we're gonna hold off on zip codes for now. We'll do those in a little bit, okay? Let's see here. What's up, Angelina? Hope you're doing good. Say Michigan here. Yeah, so Michigan, like I mentioned, is going to be getting snow. I mean, pretty much everywhere in the state of Michigan is going to see some form of snow, more than likely. But, the heaviest of that's going to be towards, like, the western side in general. So, let's see here. Now let's talk wind chills midweek. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be another thing. Actually, yeah, let's actually look at that real quickly. So we are going to be dealing with a lot of cold air coming down from this system. So not only is this storm bringing, severe weather along with it, a bit of winter weather and stuff too, but we're also going to be seeing a little bit of cold air coming down here as well. Here, let's go ahead and bring up our temperatures. We're gonna do the wind chill. Okay, we're gonna look at the overall wind chill. It's gonna be just a little bit brutal. So here's the GFS model. We work our way down in time for the morning of the 12th. That's kind of like the coldest day, in which you can actually see, the wind chill values could be getting down into the negatives, basically across the northern plains, like the upper Midwest here. And a little bit of the Ohio Valley, actually. Could be seeing, a little bit of those wind chills getting down into the negatives, which is very cold. Super, super cold. There is going to be a lot of winds actually associated with this storm, especially up there kind of for the northeastern side of the U.S., towards New England, could really be picking up quite a bit. Let's see, MP, dude, coming in with a $5 donation. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, MP, for your support. That means a lot to me, man. Thank you, MP. Very, very sweet of you, dude. Thank you so much for that. Very, very much appreciated. But yeah, it is definitely going to get very, very cold. The Ohio Valley is going to be like in the teens and, the single digits here regarding wind chill and whatnot. Temperature itself, the actual temperature here for the morning of the 12th is still going to be pretty brutal. I mean, look at this. Yeah, temperatures through the Ohio Valley is going to be there in the teens and all that stuff, and the negatives up north in the northern plains. Actual temperature-wise, it's going to be very, very, very cold for a lot of you folks out there. Let's see here. But anyways, see, I heard the Dakotas could get very cold weather. Yeah. So especially North Dakota, we're going to be getting very cold. Like we mentioned, for the morning of the 12th here, we're going to be in the negatives for sure. It's going to be super, super cold. Let's see here. Do I think that upstate South Carolina can see tornadoes from this event? SPC hasn't gave a risk with the Weather Channel. Honestly, as of now, I wouldn't really expect much, even if there was. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And if obviously SPC does put the risk there, then, we'll talk more about it. But for now, no. I don't really see that being a big issue for you guys right now. But like I said, we'll keep an eye on SPC. They're the ones that make the decision and stuff. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it. And if they do issue a tornado risk like we do have for some of these other areas, like I mentioned, we'll let you know. Yeah, like I mentioned, tomorrow we do have a risk for tornadoes today. Risk of tornadoes tomorrow up in like southern Alabama, like central, southwestern Georgia, as well as like the western panhandle here of Florida, basically. Let's see here. Sorry, not chatting. Busy with Denny. The jet stream is going to change soon. Yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to be getting a lot of that cold air coming down. It's going to be pretty cold. Crystal says, I blame Canada. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Canada, is kind of to blame here. Look at this trough, though. Here, let me show you guys something. This is actually pretty crazy. Look at that trough, man. Wow. Yeah, look at that dip in the jet stream there. That is a really long wave. That's a crazy long wave trough. And that dips down all the way to the Gulf states. Like, that's a pretty strong trough. I mean, seriously. And, with all that being said and everything, there's going to be some instability, too, adding to that. So, we'll go ahead and pull up the energy in the atmosphere. Which you can see that the environment will have at least a little bit of instability, which might be enough to, cause some storms and potentially some severe weather and everything. But, I mean, you can see here that there is some instability that could work its way here towards the northeast. Like I mentioned, SPC, they did put a risk out there for basically New England here. Some of the New England states, like let's see here. Like New Jersey and like Massachusetts and Connecticut and whatnot. Here, I'll go and show you guys that again. So yeah, this is the risk for Wednesday. You can see areas in like eastern North Carolina included, Virginia, portions of Delaware, New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, a little bit of southern New York State, including New York City included here too. Connecticut, Rhode Island, and a little bit of Massachusetts is in the risk for some severe storms being possible. Let's see. Tash says, any updates on severe weather in New York City? Yeah, so New York City will be getting a potential for some storms, perhaps some severe weather. So if you're in New York City, it can't be ruled out completely on Wednesday. I will say though, there's a low amount of instability, but there's a high amount of wind shear. And what I mean by that is that the fuel for the storms is relatively low, but consider what I mean by wind shear is like the engine per se of a storm. What really gets those storms organized is pretty strong. So, it kind of balances itself. With low instability, high shear environment, it kind of makes up for it a little bit. Bottom line is that there will be the possibility for maybe a little bit of storm activity out here, perhaps maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm or two. Can't be ruled out near the New York City area. Let's see here. Lizzie, we're going to hold off on zip codes for now. Yeah, we're going to get to those here in a little bit, okay? I just want to go ahead and get over, most of the things here first before we do all that. But anyway, so that's that. We'll definitely be keeping a close eye out there for that. Now, another thing I do want to look at with you guys is the winds. The winds is going to be a very, very big concern for areas up in the north. Here, let me go ahead and bring you guys back to the models here. So with this storm here, we're going to get some really strong winds kicking up across the country. So up here in the northeast, according to GFS here, we'll go and look at that first. You can see these winds really get strong. This is for the kind of later portion, the evening of the 12th. And you can see that those winds off the coast there are going to be sustained. So constant, right around 35, 40 knots nearly. Sustained winds. Now, that's not wind gusts. The winds could be gusting higher. So areas out there by, some of these coastal regions like coastal New Jersey, coastal Long Island, coastal, Connecticut, coastal Rhode Island, and portions of coastal Massachusetts really need to watch this, because, these winds could be a huge problem for people who's, first of all, traveling, who's boating out there. But it also could bring in a little bit of swelling too, similar to storm surge in a way where you get these winds that are just kind of really slamming against the coast of the coastal regions here. And that'll actually really bring, some of that water level a little bit higher. So, especially with high tide and stuff like that, high tide as well as having, the winds really aiming across the coastline there. That will allow for the water level to rise maybe a little bit higher. Now, the winds could get a little bit stronger even. Remember, this is sustained wind, so this is for basically late 11th. We could have some localized pockets of around 45, maybe somewhere near 50 knots according to the GFS model. Once again, this is sustained. And so this is about, in miles an hour, 45, 50 knots is I believe near 60 miles an hour or so. It's pretty strong. And like I mentioned, that's sustained. And it could be gusting higher. So we're going to be dealing with tropical storm force winds in some of these areas here potentially. So definitely keep a close eye out for that. And then after that cold front shoots through, the cold front's right here in this case. After that cold front does shoot through, we're going to be getting a pretty strong amount of easterly winds. Behind it, a lot of really cold, sharp air, super, super cold. And that's going to be rolling over the Great Lakes and possibly causing a bit of lake effect snow again. So along areas out there by western New York states, northwestern Pennsylvania, northeast Ohio, we really need to look out there for that because, we're going to be dealing with a bit more accumulations and stuff like that from that lake effect with that easterly winds after that system does roll through. So yeah, the northeast, like I mentioned, coastal northeast really does need to watch out for this here. It's going to get pretty windy for a lot of you folks on the coastline. So prepare for that. It's going to be pretty windy. And then, of course, like I mentioned, with those easterly winds, it's going to get a little windy, and it's going to be very cold with that wind chill, which we'll go ahead and pull that up for you guys. So basically, with that wind chill and stuff coming through, it's going to be extremely cold. As you can see, the wind chill bringing the temperatures down into single digits, and some local spots possibly getting near the negatives, which is just really, really cold. So yeah, make sure that you guys are ready for that. Now, actually, I will tell you this. Now, ahead of the front, we're actually going to be getting a bit of a warm front here ahead of it, and it's going to be temporarily really nice. But that's not going to last very long. Here for basically the afternoon, going into the evening of the 11th. Look at these temperatures out here in the Northeast. I mean, we're talking these temps up in the upper 50s, perhaps even lower 60s in some spots. Now, for you guys, that's pretty warm. But then, like I said, that's not going to last, because then the cold air is going to shortly come right behind it as we approach our way into the 12th, and everything's going to shoot back down into even cooler temperatures yet again. So, yeah, as you can tell, it's just going to be a bit of a temperature shift, but we will see a temporary amount of relief here with that warm front that does come through here for basically the 11th. So we'll definitely we'll keep you guys posted with that. What's up, Isaac? Hope you're doing good, man. Let's see here. Maybe they'll put a marginal for damaging winds. I think that's probably going to be some of the main concern for areas up here. We're going to bring you guys back. So in the risk here for Wednesday, I think that's honestly going to be the main concern. Honestly, I don't think tornadoes will be much of an issue for the Northeast. I think that's just going to be mostly a threat for the South. But, in terms of, the way it is here, honestly, I think the main concern is just going to be for some gusty winds. And like I mentioned, instability is fairly weak. We hardly have any energy in the atmosphere, but there is enough that, theoretically could allow for a couple severe storms to occur out here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Do I expect the risk to increase for Wednesday? Nah, I really don't, to be honest with you. I think it's probably just going to stay marginal. There's not enough instability. If there is more energy in the atmosphere, if we had more unstable air, I feel like at that point, yes, that they might, but there's hardly any instability in the atmosphere for this event here. So don't really think they're going to do anything about that. I think they're just going to keep it at the marginal. I mean, to be fair with you guys, honestly, I'm surprised they even pulled this marginal for a lot of these upper New England states. Honestly, I was not really expecting that too much because, like I mentioned, there's just not a lot of instability out there. The energy is pretty low, but there is a lot of wind shear, so, that kind of helps combat it a little bit. Let's see here. Michael says, just want to know the risk of fire weather is for the storm. So, yeah, there is a really big concern for fire weather coming up here. Let me go ahead and bring the SPC to you guys here real quickly. So we do have a big concern for Tuesday regarding the fire weather. So let's go ahead and bring that up for you guys. So this is actually just going to be taking place here in California. There is a pretty big concern for wildfire conditions on the southern side of California. In terms of otherwhere in the country, really not any fire conditions are expected here for Tuesday. Only really Southern California, which it can happen today as well. A little bit of fire conditions possible down there. It's a little bit dry now. We're not really seeing a lot in the west anymore. We did a while back. We did have that atmospheric river that drove a lot of moisture through the region, but it's been pretty dry for the last little bit. Really, not a lot going on right there. But yeah, there will be a little bit of a wildfire concern out there. There in general. But yeah, it is relatively dry out here in the west. In terms of current radar, though, looking at things here now, you can see there's a lot of rain down south. The rain that we were talking about the last couple days is starting to fall across areas of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and we actually do have a bit of one of those rounds of snow that we were talking about up here towards the northeast. As you can see, areas near New England, mostly just rain, cold rain for you guys. But up north, for areas in northern New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, getting into Maine, it's more of a wintry approach, a little bit more of wintry weather and stuff like that. So, that's that. And of course, we do have a little bit of snowfall out there towards Ontario and Quebec as well. A little bit of snowfall out there for some of those regions in southern Canada going on. And then, of course, out here by Colorado, in those upper elevations, near Colorado Springs, slightly south, we do have a bit of snow falling out here in these regions here as well. Other than that, I mean, really not a lot going on here currently in the U.S. Now, let's go ahead and actually bring up the temperatures here. I do want to look and see where we're kind of standing here with these temps currently, just to kind of get a peek of things, see how everything's going. Let's see here. Warm for a couple hours before dropping 40 degrees. Yeah. It's going to be a big shift in temperatures up there in the Northeast. You guys are going to notice quite the quite the crash, man. It's going to be a big flop. You're going to get some nice, relatively warm conditions for a little bit, and then of course that's going to turn into just a big issue. So, but right now temperatures, they ain't too bad. Yeah, at the current moment they're not too bad up north. We're in the 20s. Well, portion of Minnesota's a little cold. Out here in the teens, but yeah, you folks out here in Minnesota are used to it, and it's going to get a little bit colder though. Like we mentioned, those temps are going to get in the negatives here soon. For the morning of the 12th, especially, that's where the coldest morning is going to be. So, for December 12th, you guys, make sure you bundle up because it is going to be very, very cold for a lot of you folks out there. But anyways, all right, y'all, we'll do some zip codes now. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do some zip codes, so we will do those for you all in terms of helping you guys out. I just wanted to go over everything first, kind of just talk about what's going on here. Actually, before we do, I do want to show you guys this real quickly. So regarding severe weather and stuff, let's go and bring you guys over here. We do have ourselves, like I said, all that instability that's rolling through. There will be enough energy in the atmosphere to allow for some severe storms in the south here, and then like I mentioned up here in the north, some of that instability does work its way up here to like the eastern mid-Atlantic and some capped out instability here towards like the areas of the New England states. Like I mentioned, I'm still kind of surprised that they put marginal risk out there, but that was SPC's call. Obviously, like I said, the instability is quite lacking up there, but in theory, it could be possible. Alrighty, everybody. Let's see. Jamie wants me to take a look at 12205, 12205. Gotcha. This is in New York. So right now, okay, you're out there by Albany. So Albany, New York is going to be getting a little bit of snow, not a lot. We are going to be seeing a little bit. You're kind of on the edge, a couple tenths of an inch, like I mentioned. Not really a lot of anything going on out there. What I will tell you, though, is that there is a lot of cold air to follow. So it's going to get pretty chilly. Once we work our way into the morning here of the 12th, you're going to notice it's going to start getting pretty cold. You guys are going to get in the 20s. Things might heat back up temporarily again, as we approach our way towards like next week, basically, or the late portion of this week and the early next week. It might warm up a little bit more, but for a little bit at least, for like the 12th, it's going to be getting a little cold. Now, you're going to notice a bit of warm conditions here for the later portion of the 11th. But once we approach our way into the 12th here, it's going to be getting pretty cold. but yeah, nothing really too crazy going on. And right now, we have a little bit of precipitation rolling through, but nothing really big at all. Let's see here. All right, next up, we got Pamela. Sorry, I'm saying, I don't know how you say your name. Hopefully I'm saying it right, which I don't think I am. Let's see here. 18018, gotcha. 18018. This is up in Pennsylvania. Gotcha. All right, my friend, you are currently not under any warnings or advisories, and you are not really expecting anything other than a little bit of rain. Really not seeing any no snow or anything like that out there by you. You can kind of see in the general area there's not a lot. A little bit to the north, we might pick up a little bit of snow, but yeah, for your area, we're not going to really see anything out here. So yeah, not really expecting much out there. Now, if I bring up the future radar to show you real quickly, which we'll go ahead and do that real fast. Go ahead and bring up the NAM 3K, and I will turn on the reflectivity here, precip type. All right, let's go ahead and hop you guys over here to this page. So, yeah, you can see out there where you're at. Whenever it comes to it, we'll go ahead and let this load here. We're going to be getting a little bit of rain here with this system, and then that's going to roll out. But then there's going to be a little bit more precipitation to roll through, as you can kind of see. Once this cold front comes through, this is going to be for the afternoon of the 11th. You can kind of see here, according to NAM, see that long line there? So there might be some storms on that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. Now, the NAM does show briefly, maybe turning to a few snow showers afterwards. But, yeah, you're not going to see anything snow, cumulative, no really anything going on there. It's just a little bit of rain that's going to start to really kind of fall here basically for the early 11th is when that's going to pretty much start. Let's see here. It's Albany. Yeah, sorry. I'm just not from the area. I don't really know how you really pronounce it too much. But I'll try to remember that. I've always called it Albany my whole life. So, Let's see here. All right, Crystal, I gotcha. Wants me to take a look here at 45431. Gotcha. Let's see, 45431. This is up in Ohio. Alrighty, so yeah, I don't think you're really gonna see anything out here. You're out by Dayton. So accumulation. We're really not going to be seeing anything. You might see a trace, maybe maybe just a trace of snowfall, but yeah, we're really not going to be dealing with anything out here towards the Dayton area. So that's good. One thing I will tell you though is that yeah, it's going to get pretty cold with that wind chill and stuff coming through. Whenever we do get that blast of cold air that comes through, you're going to be seeing those temperatures for the morning of the 12th getting down into like single digits, wind chill anyways. So you definitely want to bundle up for the morning of the 12th if you're going anywhere. All right, let's see here. Leon wants me to take a look here at 08611. Gotcha. Let's see here. 08611. Go ahead and pull this up here real quickly. So this is up in New Jersey. Gotcha. All right, so actually, yeah, your area is under the risk for a little bit of storms. You can kind of see that line of storms that comes through. There might be a little bit of severe weather included. This will be here for Wednesday, okay? So watch out for Wednesday in general, which is the 11th. So, yeah, on the 11th, we'll have to watch out for that. Now, not really expecting any snow anytime soon. You're just going to be seeing a bit of rainfall. That's going to kind of start out as showers here for the late 10th and turn into more consistent rainfall potentially for the 11th. Especially around the afternoon or so. That's when you're going to start to notice that. Now, temperature-wise out there, it's like I mentioned, we're actually going to be warm a little bit here. It's going to be a little bit warm for you guys for the late 11th, but for the early 12th, you're going to notice it's starting to get pretty cold in general. So, yeah, it's going to get a little chilly out there, but it's after we get that warm spell coming through. Let's see here. Roby wants me to take a look at 64850. Gotcha. Let's see here. 64850. This is up in Missouri. All right, so this is down in southwestern Missouri. So we honestly out here we're not really expecting much. Yeah, mostly going to be fairly clear skies out there for your region. In terms of, let's see here. So in terms of like the temperatures and stuff, we will be getting a bit cooler with that wind chill. We'll be getting down to 20s for the morning of the 12th. Like I mentioned, the morning of the 12th is going to be the coldest morning in the next couple of days. So yeah, you're going to be getting a little chilly out there in the 20s, maybe the teens. Whenever it comes to the the wind chill factor and stuff like that. So let's see here. B-Ball Clips wants me to take a look at 37604. Gotcha. Let's see here. 37604. This is up in Tennessee. Gotcha. Okay, so this area, yeah, we might be getting a bit of snow out here, actually. So it'll probably start off as a little bit of rain here for the late 10th going into the 11th. But then it might transition into maybe a little bit of snow for the late morning of the 11th going into the afternoon. We might see a little bit of snowfall out here. Now, in terms of accumulation, honestly, not going to be picking up much. I mean, according to things here, we could be getting into maybe around a half an inch or so. Maybe upwards of an inch in those further upper elevations. But yeah, we're not going to be really dealing with a lot out here, to be honest with you. I mean, you'll get a little bit of snow possibly. Once again, that'll be for basically the later morning of the 11th going into the afternoon. But it won't last too long. It won't. You're welcome, Roby. No problem. You're welcome, Leon. Let's see here. Next up, we got ourselves Lizzie. Wants me to take a look at 16335. Any snow soon? Let's see. 16335. This is up in Pennsylvania. I see a lot of blue. So that's a good sign. Yeah, so it does look like you will be getting a little bit of snow. So you'll probably get a little bit of rain here for the later portion of the 10th. So tomorrow you might get a little bit of rain showers. But look at this. As we approach our way into the afternoon of the 11th, so from the afternoon, as we approach into the evening, that snow will slow down. But for the afternoon of the 11th, that's when late morning, early afternoon, you'll be getting a little bit of snowfall. But that probably won't last too long. Now, for your area, honestly, we will be getting a little bit of accumulation out of this, actually. A couple inches, actually. Yep, so out there where you're at, good maybe 2-3 inches or so, according to the official forecast here. Could be quite possible. So we'll have to look out for that. What's up, Catloaf? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Binksy? Hope you're doing all right. Let's see here. Love for Food says, here in Grand Rapids, we got a winter storm watch. Can you look into that? Yeah, of course. Let me pull that up for you. Here, let's go ahead and bring this up. So you said Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Here we go. All right, so yeah, you can see that you're in the polygon here. This is a winter storm watch, and the winter storm watch says between 4 and 12 inches of snow possible. Winds could get as high as 35. Yeah, so we're going to be dealing with a little bit of snowfall. I should say a decent amount of snowfall in western Michigan. You guys are going to be getting it the most. But yeah, you kind of saw there, basically 4 to 12 inches, according to like the official forecast out here. As you can kind of see, it does range quite a bit. The further you get closer to the lake here, the more the snow total goes up. The further east you go in the Grand Rapids, the lower the totals. But it really does range. It really does range there. But yeah, you do have a winter storm watch, so keep it out there for that. A little bit of winter weather will be expected. Now, in terms of timing and everything, let's see. It looks like those snow showers could start to roll in here for basically the evening tomorrow, but it won't really pick up until basically the evening of the 11th going into the 12th. That's kind of where the heaviest of that snowfall is going to be. So that's that. Let's see here. Lily wants me to take a look at 40258. Gotcha. 40258. This is in Louisville, Kentucky. I have family out here. Actually, I used to live pretty close to Louisville. Okay, so a little bit of snow showers will be possible, according to the NAM 3K. So maybe a little bit of snow you can kind of see forming. I don't think it'll be much, to be honest with you guys. Honestly, this is just an hour's worth or so of snowfall. Really not a lot. Now, in terms of accumulations, I don't think we're going to get anything. Honestly, I wouldn't get your hopes up for this. This is one model after all. And this would be for the morning of the 11th. And like I said, there probably wouldn't be any accumulations out of it. So, yeah, wouldn't expect much out of it overall. Let's see here. Love for Food says, thank you, you're the man. Yeah, no problem, man. You're very welcome. Lizzie says, thanks, Andy. Keep up the good work. You're very welcome, my friends, and I appreciate that. Let's see. Janice says, hi, Andrew. Hope you're doing okay. I'm good. I'm good. Hopefully you're doing good yourself. Let's see here. Sweet Pea says, what about Philadelphia? That is a good question. So, actually, it's going to get a little bit warm there in Philadelphia. We're going to be seeing a little bit of a warm front coming through, but it's not going to really last too long. Yeah, really not going to last too long. Let me bring you over here back to the models real quickly. So this is the GFS, and you can kind of see as we go up towards basically the evening of the 11th, out there kind of towards Philadelphia area. We're going to be dealing upper 50s, maybe near lower 60s, which it'll temporarily be pretty warm as that warm front comes through. Then we'll get that cold front, maybe some severe storms on that for Wednesday, and then it's going to get really cold again. So a little temporary relief, shortly followed by more cold is going to be expected out there. Now, with snowfall and stuff like that, not really. We're not expecting any snowfall to occur out there. You might get a little bit of rain, though, especially with that storm that could be coming through the region here. As you can kind of see that line kind of getting near Philadelphia right around the afternoon, maybe early evening of the 11th. So that'll be for Wednesday. Let's see here. Anything is better than nothing. Yeah, I mean, depends on who you are. Some people like snow, some people don't. Personally, I do, as long as I don't have to do anything. Like, if I could sit inside all day and just watch it fall, yeah, sure. But, I've worked in snow before. It sucks. So I really do see both ways. Now, kid Andrew would have been like, oh, yeah, let it snow. And honestly, I agree. I still agree with that. But like I mentioned, you just if you're working, it sucks. That's one thing. It sucks. Let's see here. Leon said I love snow. Yeah, I mean I do too. It is pretty watching it fall if you're inside. But other than that, being out in it, it sucks. Have I gone over the southeast yet? Yeah, we have. So really in the southeast, we're gonna bring you guys back here. So what we got going on out here is actually a bit of severe weather. Let me turn off those temperatures real quickly. So whenever it comes to the risk for severe weather, tomorrow we do have a risk out here for severe weather towards like the western side, the western panhandle of Florida, like southern Alabama, a little bit of central and like southwestern Georgia. We do have ourselves a marginal risk out there for some severe weather. So we will look out for storms. Now, there will be the possibility for a couple tornadoes out here too tomorrow. We'll probably do some coverage. I'm thinking about it. Obviously, if storms really start popping off here, and if we start getting a lot of severe warnings, then yeah, we'll go live for it in general. But whenever it comes to it here, let's see. Regarding hail, yeah, we're not really seeing a hail threat tomorrow. We do have a wind threat, though, as well. So whenever it comes to it, we will be looking out there for some damaging wind gusts, potentially. Some wind gusts getting up to right around like 60 miles an hour. So we'll have to look out for. And then, like I mentioned, actually today, too, we do have another marginal. It's a little baby marginal risk out there for like southern Louisiana here and like a little bit of southern Mississippi. A little bit of a risk out there. What's up, Brandy? Hope you're doing good. Saying hello, everyone. Hi, Andrew. What's up? Hope you're doing all right. Glad to have you here. So yeah, that's basically what's going on in the south, and we are getting a bit of rainfall, which is kind of nice. It's basically much needed. Rainfall over the next. Let's see here. This is just basically rainfall over the next 72 hours. It doesn't have a color table, unfortunately. For some reason, it doesn't show up. But yeah, we'll be dealing with at least an inch or so in some of these areas. Some of the heaviest accumulations is going to be out there for like southern Alabama, towards like central Georgia, and a little bit like northwest South Carolina. That's where a lot of the rain is going to be falling out here, which once again is much needed. A lot of these places do absolutely need the rain. Especially up north, it's definitely very, 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 very much needed. That's for sure. Let's see. You always put my anxious mind at ease. That's good. I'm glad to help you guys out. And like I mentioned, weather can be scary sometimes, but like I mentioned, in the end, more than likely you'll be fine. Especially in an event like this, coming up here, there's really not a lot of anything super crazy. And like I said, the tornado threat we do have like today and tomorrow is low end, which is very unlikely. We'll probably get a couple isolated tornadoes, but yeah, try not to worry about it. It's a low threat, but we'll keep you guys posted. If it does become something decent, then we'll be covering it. So hopefully that'll help out. Anyways, folks, well, if you guys have any final questions before we roll off here, feel free to throw them down the chat. Like I mentioned, we're going to be heading off here in about 15 minutes or so. We'll head off around 7. I got to go make some dinner and stuff too. But I did want to say thank you all for joining. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. That way you guys can stay on top of the weather, and we'll keep you guys posted. Let's see here. Carson says, what are things going to look like for Virginia Beach this week? Anything? So for Virginia Beach, honestly, we have a shot for a little bit of severe weather. Now, you said for... I thought you said this weekend. No, for this week, yeah, we do have a shot for severe weather on Wednesday. So let me go ahead and bring up Wednesday's threat. So you can kind of see here whenever I pull up the Day 3 outlook, which is for Wednesday. So we do have a dark green shade here. That is, a risk for severe weather. That's a marginal, a level 1 threat. So the scale goes up to 5, like 5 being like worst case scenario, like a big event. And then you have the level 1, which is the lowest threat, which we're in here. It's unlikely that you'll see a lot of severe weather coming up on Wednesday, but, an isolated severe storm or two cannot be ruled out. So we will keep an eye out there for Virginia Beach area here. So a little bit of severe weather possibly here on Wednesday. And honestly, it'll get a little bit warm too. You will actually have a little bit of a temporary relief from the cold. Notice how I say temporary? because here, let's go ahead and show you guys. Let's see, bring you all over here. So, it will get a little bit warm there. You can actually see here those temperatures, possibly getting up into the 70s, which, that's pretty nice. This is the GFS model, by the way. Upper 60s, lower 70s here for basically the afternoon of the 11th. But once that cold front comes through, you're going to notice the temperature is going to get a little bit cold again. This is our wind chill temp here. Let's go ahead and bring up our actual temp here. Definitely going to be noticing quite a change in the in the temperatures. Briefly we'll be pretty warm there, but then we'll be cooling down quite a bit. So, let's see here. Yeah, but nothing snow related or anything is expected out there for your area. Leon says, should I be worried about Wednesday? I wouldn't worry about it, but I would keep an eye on it. Like I mentioned, if you're in the risk here for severe weather, obviously it's understandable for you to be a little concerned. But, like I mentioned, the odds of you specifically getting impacted by severe weather is still fairly low. It's still a relatively low-end threat. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I really wouldn't. Just keep a close eye on it. Like I said, just continue to follow our updates and stuff like that. And, we'll let you know if it's something that you really need to look out for or not. But we'll definitely we'll be watching this closely for sure. Let's see here. Janice wants me to take a look at 03062. Let's see here. Anything rain related? So 03062. This is up in New Hampshire. Gotcha. So, actually, out by you, yeah, you'll just be getting a lot of rain coming through. Slightly to your west in some of those upper elevations, we will have a bit of a wintry mix. But for you, more than likely, you're just going to be in a bunch of rain, to be honest. So, yeah, a lot of that rain's going to start really coming down for pretty much the 11th, the early 11th, go through the 11th, and kind of ending for the early 12th. So it's going to be raining mostly through the 11th here in general. So that's kind of what we're looking out there for that. And you can actually kind of see if I zoom out a bit, looking at the big picture of things, you can see, if I go and play this, so this is basically the future radar you guys can look at here. So, some areas will get a bit of snow out there by, a lot of cold air, though, like I mentioned, will be coming down into the country here on the back side of that storm. And then, of course, we will be seeing, quite a little bit of snow shower activity possibly kicking off out there by the Ohio Valley here in general. And then, of course, a lot of that warm air advection, that northerly movement of relatively warm air, as well as a bit of moisture coming through, will allow for a little bit of severe weather to be occurring in some of these states here. So, that'll be something to work out for. So, a little bit of severe weather we're going to be expecting here. Like I mentioned, a bit of snowfall. And, of course, a lot of cold air will be coming down right behind this system. Kind of a one last screw you from Mother Nature. Basically. That's kind of what it is all about. Let's see here. Carson, is that Virginia Beach zip code? Yeah, we already did Virginia Beach. Let me double check in case if it's somewhere else. Let's see. 23459, 23459. Yeah, so this is Virginia Beach. So, yeah, we already went over your area, man. If you rewind the stream a little bit, like I mentioned, just a bit of rain, temporary warmth before getting cold again. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be seeing out there. Let's see here. SPC wants me to take a look at, let's see here, 47882. 47882. Let's see. Indiana. Gotcha. So you're not going to be getting any, accumulative snow more than likely. NAM does show a little bit of snow coming through. This is kind of for afternoon the 11th, potentially. Possibly could get some snow. We'll have to see how that plays out. Also really shouldn't trust the models this precisely, but we'll see if that actually comes to be an actual thing or not, or if it's just a temporary model fluke. But yeah, really not a lot going on for your area. I mean, it will get pretty cold from things, from that cold air coming down from the north. I mean, yeah, temps, and for the morning of the 12th, temperatures will be getting in the 20s. So, lower 20s. It will be pretty cold. Let's see here. You're welcome, Janice. No problem. Let's see here. Apache wants me to take a look at 85208. Gotcha. Let's see here. 85208. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button. Greatly appreciated. So this is up in Arizona. Yeah, not going to see anything out here. It's remaining fairly dry. We do have another little round of moisture that's going to be coming in for the west here. This will be taking place for basically the 12th. Starting for the late 11th, maybe the 12th. We'll be getting a lot of precipitation coming back into the west here. But, you know, in terms of things here, it's just going to be not a lot for your area up in Arizona. Not really a lot going on. Still kind of relatively calm in those regions there. Let's see here. How much snow we get in eastern Kentucky? Good question. So not really a lot. We will be getting a little bit out there towards like eastern Kentucky. You know, up in those upper elevations here, we will be seeing upwards of at most an inch, to be quite fair. Yeah, not really seeing a lot of heavy accumulations or anything out there in eastern Kentucky. Relatively light on the snow. Not really expecting much out here, so yeah. Maybe a little bit can't be ruled out, though. If we take a look here at the future radar and stuff, so for eastern Kentucky, you can kind of see some snow showers and stuff. We'll be rolling through. Look at that. So this is the NAM 3K showing kind of maybe 2 rounds of snow, one for the morning of the 11th, and then maybe a little bit more for the evening of the 11th, maybe a little bit more. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Let's see here. What's up, Frankie? Hope you're doing good, man. Carson wants me to take a look at 64068. Let's see here. 64068. This is up in Missouri. Gotcha. All right, this is up by Kansas City. KC is not going to be really seeing anything. Maybe a few snow showers for the morning of the 11th could be possible. According to NAM 3K, maybe a little bit. But, yeah, no accumulations really is expected out here. Let's see here. All right, Sweet Pea wants me to take a look at 19125. Let's see here. 19125. Let's see for Pennsylvania. Gotcha. So, yeah, so you guys are actually going to be under the gun for a little bit of severe weather. You can kind of see that cold front that comes through. That long line of potential storms, that squall we have here. So yeah, look out for maybe some storms, perhaps mostly just some gusty winds being possible here for the afternoon of the 11th. Not really any snow going on out there. Honestly, not really expecting anything winter related. That'll be to the north behind that front. And then it'll be, I will say it will get temporarily warm, and you'll be seeing those temperatures likely in the 60s and stuff, 50s and 60s here for the 11th. But then as we approach our way here into the early 12th, it will be starting to cool down quite a bit. Let's see here. How is Florida's temperatures looking at 32068? Let's see here. 32068. This is in northern Florida. Gotcha. Alrighty, so up here, whenever it comes to the temps, so actually we are going to be getting this cold front here in Florida too. I'm going to watch for maybe a little bit of storm activity here. Let's go and bring you guys over here to the models again. So this is GFS, and you can see ahead of the cold front here, you can obviously see where the cold front's at. It's pretty obvious here. So for you, my friend, we are going to be seeing those temps up into the upper 60s in general. And then after that cold front rolls through, it will be getting pretty cold. So for the morning of the 12th, it'll be getting in the low 40s, which is, yeah, at least for me, that's pretty cold anymore. Let's see here. Ethan wants me to take a look at 07621. Gotcha. Here, let's go and bring this back. Let's see here. 07621. This is up in New Jersey. Okay, so you actually have a risk for severe weather on Wednesday. So keep an eye out there for some severe storms. Temperatures will be getting up in like the 60s, upper 50s, maybe lower 60s here for the afternoon, evening of the 11th, before really cooling down for the morning of the 12th in general. But yeah, we will be seeing that. You see that kind of line there on the model. So that's our QLCS. That's kind of our squall line here. Just long line of storms that'll roll through. Perhaps could be severe. Maybe producing some damaging winds and stuff like that can't be ruled out. So I think that's really why SPC did that. It's based off what the models are kind of representing. You can kind of see that long, narrow strip of that line there. Yeah, that's basically just that long squall line potentially causing a bunch of winds and stuff like that. So let's see. Ethan says, how come the NWS has wind gusts significantly lower than GFS and other models for Wednesday? Because GFS should not be taken approximately. While models are good at helping us understand, they're never perfect. Models are not a magical thing that always gets the weather right. No, you see, models, meteorologists don't strictly rely off of models. We go off of other things too. Models is just a tool that we use, and not all the times does it line up. Now, here, let me bring you guys over here. It will definitely be getting quite windy though. In general, some of the models out here, this is in terms of, actual like wind gusts, or sorry, sustained winds here, not wind gusts. GFS really does have the winds quite significantly picking up out there. You can kind of see along the coast, 40, so or knots, 30, 40 knots or so, pretty strong. Then you got like Euro here, the ECMWF European model, which according to the Euro, it's still going to be quite strong, but maybe a little bit less significant, more in the 30s. But regardless, it's definitely going to be pretty windy. And like I mentioned, these wind gusts are going to be actually higher too, so we'll have to look out for that. Let's see here. Oh, we got a wave of zip codes coming in. Let's go ahead and hop on back here. Alrighty, let's see here. So Julie wants me to take a look at 42642, Kentucky. All right, so we are not really expecting much of any snow. You might get a little bit of snow showers coming through. This might take place for the morning of the 11th, and then maybe another little round for the late 11th. Little to no accumulations is expected. Not going to really see anything out there. Now, you will be getting some cold air coming through for the morning of the 12th. Especially the morning of the 12th. For the country, the morning of the 12th will be the coldest, and temperatures will be getting down into the 20s. Out there, kind of maybe the mid-lower 20s for you guys in the morning time. So very cold, very cold. Let's see here. Is that Jupiter wants me to take a look at 06359? Let's see. 06359 up in Connecticut. Okay, so this is on the eastern side. So, yeah, you guys are actually in the severe weather threat for Wednesday. So we will have to look out for Wednesday, as there could be a little bit of severe weather. I think main concern is going to be just some gusty winds. Maybe that line of storms could produce some gusty winds, possibly up to like 60 miles an hour or whatnot. So we'll have to see about all that. And then, of course, the cold air will be pulling in for the morning of the 12th. So, but it will actually be a little warm, ahead of that front there. We're going to be dealing with the temperatures here, possibly in like the 60s and whatnot. So it'll be a little temporary warmth before it gets cold again. Let's see here. All right, Braven wants me to take a look at 57108. Let's see here. 57108, South Dakota. Okay, so there's actually a little bit of snow out here. This is towards Sioux Falls. So about a half an inch of snow is expected within the next 3 days. Not really a lot. Yeah, we'll be seeing a little bit of snow coming through here for the tomorrow night, basically. We'll have a little bit of snow showers and stuff like that rolling through tomorrow night. So we'll have to look out for that. Other than that, though, yeah, really not a whole lot. It will get very cold, though, actually. So let's see here. So basically, Let's see here. So as we roll our way into the 12th, what day is the 12th? Is that Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah, that's Thursday. So for Thursday morning, temperatures out there is going to be getting extremely cold. So where you're at in Sioux Falls, yeah, we're going to be getting down into the lower single digits, if not the upper. Well, honestly, lower single digits, if not the lower negatives, could be possible. So it's going to get very cold out there. That is one thing I do want you to look out for. That is just super, super cold. Let's see here. It might be a dumb question, but I'm not from here. Do I think that Virginia Beach will get snow this winter? I mean, it's possible. I do think that the Mid-Atlantic will be above average this year. It's been super, super mild for the last several winters. I mean, almost, like 8 years or so. It's been pretty mild. I used to live up here in Virginia, Northern Virginia, and that's actually where I grew up most of my life. And yeah, the last good storm we had was 2016. Honestly, for the Mid-Atlantic this year, though, I really do think that you guys are going to be in store for something, and I think Virginia Beach could possibly see some snow. We'll have to see later on this year. It'll probably be more towards like February, maybe January, February before that happens. You don't really see too much usually in December. The big stuff usually starts to kick off here for pretty much like the pretty much like the mid portion of January is where that really picks up. I've noticed in general. Let's see here. All right, so Team Kenny, let's see here, 63028, 63028 for Missouri. So, it's out by St. Louis. Got it. So St. Louis, really, we're not going to be seeing much of anything out here, to be honest with you. We'll get a little bit of snow showers possibly here for the morning of the 11th, but yeah, nothing really big or accumulative, really. Yeah, I wouldn't expect much out there. It will get a little chilly, though, for the morning of Thursday. Yeah, Thursday morning will be the coldest morning this week, guys. So prepare for that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll be getting the mid 20s out there potentially. Maybe slightly north could be in the lower 20s. Let's see here. Please tell me that Lincoln, Nebraska is over from the cold weather. No. I hate to tell you, but we haven't even scraped the ice yet. Peachy, I hate to tell you this, but it's not even winter yet. We're still in fall, guys. Okay, so yeah, we haven't even scraped into winter yet, and it's already been ridiculously cold across a lot of the country. Now, unfortunately, Peachy, whenever it comes to Thursday morning, like I've been kind of mentioning here, is going to be the coldest day, or the coldest morning here. Your temp's going to be in the teens. Yeah, pretty cold. Just realized the new setup. Oh yeah. I've been kind of changing some things around here. Just trying to get everything all situated. I found out actually I could stream both shorts and normal at the same time, so that's why kind of things look a little bit different. But alrighty, everybody. Well, we're gonna go ahead and head off here. I gotta head off and go get some food. I am getting hungry. Gotta go get some dinner and stuff. But I appreciate y'all for joining us. Once again, thank you guys for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Now, tomorrow on the table, we might do some live coverage actually with tomorrow's risk for severe weather. Like I mentioned, we do have that risk for severe thunderstorms, including tornadoes tomorrow for like central southern Alabama, for like the western panhandle of Florida and like central and western Georgia here. So we're going to have to watch out for a couple isolated tornadoes. So a few tornadoes cannot be ruled out in general. So we'll definitely look out for that. Do I think eastern Kentucky will get a good snow this year? Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic could be dealing with a pretty good winter this year. We'll have to see. Like I mentioned, that would be taking mostly in place during like maybe late January into February. That's probably where the greatest potential is going to be. From what I see, I think that's where we're going to have the best of the shot. Typically is because that's like the heart of winter basically. Let's see here. Thanks again for everything you do. Enjoy your dinner and rest of your night. Hope to see you tomorrow to calm my anxiety. I'll be here. Yeah, we'll definitely do some coverage tomorrow to help you guys out with that tornado threat. So, also damaging wind threat. So we'll keep you guys posted. And tomorrow also we'll do a little bit of a breakdown for Wednesday, because Wednesday we're gonna have another day of severe weather. Which Wednesday's threat is gonna be up in New England territory in like eastern Mid-Atlantic. So we will definitely want to be updating you guys on that. We'll keep you all posted. But all right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining. The YouTube short live stream is ending now, so thank you for joining, everybody. But everybody else, the stream will be heading off here in approximately. Let's see here. We'll be heading off here in approximately 1 minute, so go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, your family, anybody you're hanging out with in the chat. Once again, if you haven't already, guys, consider subscribing. It would be much, much appreciated. That way you guys can stay on top of it, and we'll always be here to help keep you guys weather aware. So if you guys could help, it would be much appreciated. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers, which is just absolutely nuts. And I want to say thank you, everybody, for helping us out, and thank you for all the support, everybody. But all right, guys. Thank you all for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And alrighty, everybody, we'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out, my friends. Catch y'all in the next one.